I know. I know, Vivian. I know, Vivian. I know the struggle. I know. It has been such a struggle. Like I've got to change this nappy. I've got to get this formula. I've got to go and cook. I've got to clean. I've got to, suddenly your world is like this. Like, what is this for yourself? Who are you? Like, I've created a stage name. I didn't have that before. I was, known as somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, somebody's mother, like a cousin, auntie. I wasn't my own person. So you need to find back who you are, and it is possible.
Welcome back to episode number 8 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. I wanted to say thank you once again to each and every one of you who did watch the videos, hear the inspiration from different women out of this 100 Successful Women series. I believe that each and every one of these women have something to inspire you, and if you did listen to it, you will definitely get something out of it. So today on episode number 8, I am so grateful to have Roshini Veera joining us on our conversation today. Rosh is someone whom I knew on the Facebook world, and then I have seen her doing a lot of great things, especially in her community. As a very busy mom of 3, she actually ran a radio show, which is Busy Mom Radio, that provide a lot of great information for the community, and she also helped to inspire the women out there. Aside from her busy schedule, she is also in the film and modeling industry. So she have give us a lot of great tips around how to get involved in the acting and modeling industry, and also she shared with us her stories on how she wear so many different hats when she is a busy mom of 3 children. So let's have a listen to see what Rosh got to share with us in the next video coming up. Morning, Rosh. How are you today?
Oh, good morning, Vivian. Very good for a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday and it's a rainy Sydney here today on the first day of school for me.
Yes.
So good to have you here, and thank you so much for your time with us here, Rosh.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm really excited about this chat.
Yeah, it is. Even though, as I mentioned, even though it's so-called interview, so it will be more casual conversation.
Cool. That's lovely.
Okay. So for those of my friends and family out there, so I think I haven't met Rosh personally, but then we know each other on the online world, and I saw her Facebook with a lot of wonderful things that she's doing, not only in the community, also in as a woman leader herself as well. So I'm so grateful to have here today to share with us her stories. So Rosh, do you want to tell all the women out there, who is Rosh?
I'm Rosh. Hi, everyone. I'm Rosh V. Roshini Veera for my full name. I'm originally from Sri Lanka, and I'm here in Sydney a long time. I came here as a little girl with my parents. And at the moment now I'm working in film and TV, I'm working in retail, and I'm working for radio. And I have 3 children going to school. But yeah, I wear many hijabs, and many people in the community know me for different reasons.
Wow, yes, I was like so amazed with what you were doing, Rosh, because you wear so many hats. You say you play different roles in the community. You're not only a mom of 3 young kids, and also you like contribute to the community, and you're also working in the film actors industry. So I don't know how you manage your time. Can you maybe to all the women out there, how do you manage your time with so many things that you're doing?
Well, like Marie Kondo, she just put an article out that she has 3 kids. She gave up on housework, so it's not really the priority anymore. So I think that's the key. Before I had the third child, I was folding clothes, putting things away, blah, 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 like the typical housewife. Then that went out the window when I became an entrepreneur. So that's probably the key. I don't focus so much on the dusting and folding. It's like never ending. So I probably have to hire a cleaner at some stage.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I spoke with a few of the women entrepreneurs. They say they prioritize because being an entrepreneur themselves, probably they have to look at the things that is more priority to them. Maybe like you say, folding clothes probably is something that can maybe do it later, or maybe outsource it to someone to do in the later stage.
Absolutely. I remember when I first started my entrepreneur journey, I was in the travel industry. My third child was born, and I was invited to this idea, and that's where I came out of my shell, and I started talking to hundreds of people a day virtually, like 30, 40 people a day. And that's how I ended up on all these other journeys, because I came out of my shell. I was in a household with nurturing children, raising, cooking, cleaning, and that sort of thing, because I left my pathology lab career to have more children and to raise the children. But we were having a family business in graphic design, so I was helping my husband with that, raising the children. So I didn't really need to go to go and see people. But when I got this opportunity, I did for about 3 years with the travel industry. It got me out, got me traveling, went all around the world with the kids, meeting people, doing self-development courses. And it was really a self-development hidden as a self-development business rather than a travel business. Even though I was promoting travel industry products, I was also involved in self-development, went to huge conferences, like massive auditoriums and arenas in Malaysia, Sydney, all over most of the hotels, and Queensland, Gold Coast. So this started in 2017, I would say. 2017. So from there, opportunities kept coming because I was talking to more people. So opportunities like radio, my first radio station I was involved in, I did my training, and so many other opportunities came throughout that. And then our business was more involved as well with graphic design and printing. We had more clients, and so forth. So I was not working for an employer for so many years, since 2017. So that was the key, I think, when in 2012, when my son was firstborn, I gave up that paycheck, regular paycheck. So I was hustling since 2012, I would say, no regular paycheck. So yeah, I think that's the key. Just change with it. As your family grows, change with what you're able to learn, and take on any opportunities that come your way. Like if you don't know how to do it, my best advice is to learn how to do it. Just say yes. That's what I learned in this training, this entrepreneur training back in 2017. If an opportunity comes, just say yes, and then say, okay, learn later, because other people have done it. Other people are doing it. Watch them. Watch how they do it. And I always say, watch, follow people who are doing it successfully.
Wow. I love that. That was the quotes by Richard Branson. Say yes and work out how.
It was very wise.
That's right. So I love that you were actually sharing that you studying as a side hustle business since the year 2012. So prior to side hustling, so you were a full-time working mom?
Yeah, full-time working, had first child, but I had that was only 2 years I was with that full-time job, and I just couldn't keep him anymore in that situation. He was very small, 6 months old, and he was in 2 or 3 childcares like nannies and so forth, 2 nannies. And then as he grew older and got old enough to go to childcare, he was in 2 childcares because there wasn't in Melbourne. There wasn't the bookings were full, so we decided to so that was my career before I got married, and I continued until my first child was 2. But then it was so difficult because he was just born. I had to go back to work within, I think, 3 months. 3 months, and then my husband was training. He was doing his further education, so we couldn't stop and discontinue that. So he was doing that, and this little one was born, and I was a new mother, and I was away from my family in Sydney. So it was like a very difficult situation. So I said, I was pumping milk in the hospital quiet areas. There was like a prayer room and I was pumping milk. I was saying to myself, what's going on here? Like I can't see my child. I didn't have that leave, that time that the mothers needed, because it was so pathologies 24/7. So I was carrying a pager. I was working 27 days on a roster, rotating 24/7. Like I'd be starting work when my husband finishes his class. He'll pick up, hand over the child I'll hand over the child. Then I'll go and start my shift till late at night. They will come and pick me up from the hospital. It was really full on. I can tell you, I didn't see myself going much further with this career because it was like not happening for a mother with a young child. So that was so many things. Like when I was pregnant, I was centrifuging blood standing, and they didn't let me do a sit down job. I mean, I waited like 10 years before I had children to and in my career that I was established in, but they didn't, and in Victoria they didn't recognize my service in New South Wales. So I lost all those entitlements because I got married in Sydney. My husband was from Melbourne, and we had to go to Melbourne for him to finish his studies. So I gave up all that service I had, entitlements. If I was in Sydney, I would have been able to have maternity leave and so forth. So soon after getting married, we had a child, and then I was told to go back to work after 3 months, or I don't have my job. So I had a mortgage in Sydney, and he was still finishing his mature age studies in Bachelor of Illustration, and I felt like so disappointed with my own industry. So I just stuck it out until the child was 1. I think he had his first birthday, and then we started making plans to move. But also in that meantime, we were trying for another child, and I lost that child on the move. I had a miscarriage on the move back to Sydney, and that was also devastating. It was a really hard time. But as soon as my husband's course was finished, Bachelor of Illustration, because he always wanted to study, because he didn't have that opportunity in Singapore to finish his studies, senior tertiary studies. So it was very important that he skilled himself, and we had a family, and then we decided to leave that industry. But I got a chance to come back in the pandemic. The COVID crisis, I put my hand up. They were calling out for employees to work for New South Wales Health, and I said, "Oh, it's been such a long time. It's been like a decade. I will go and help," because I couldn't stand waiting at home. I couldn't work in the film industry. We couldn't do business, graphic design. We couldn't, you do the printing. We couldn't leave our house. So I said, I've got to go back to essential work, be an essential worker. So I applied, and I did that. That was the best decision. And my children were saying, "Where are you going, Mommy?" I said, "I'm going to fight the COVID." Mommy's going to fight the COVID. So I was very happy to do that. It was scary, but I was equipped because I had worked previously in labs with gowns, with goggles. That was my life before I had kids. They never saw me in this role. So, but at vaccine time, it was triple gloves and triple gowns and big goggles and over your glasses. This kind of a thing. It was a lot of PPE.
Wow.
So I wasn't really I wasn't, and we never got COVID. I never got COVID while working there because it was so protective. We weren't allowed to bring our lunch. We had to eat the food that they had because we were not transferring contaminated products. But we were trained from Qantas. So I would say whatever skills to the mums out there that they had in their previous life, it can become useful again. Don't worry. Don't give up because you can use it again. You might think, oh no, I've given up everything to have the children and get married. So I think it's very important. You never lose those skills, like whatever you were before, and you're feeling like, oh no, it's a hopeless situation. I'm just a mom now. You can use those skills again. They are transferable. They can be used, and also you can learn new skills. There's nothing wrong with learning new skills, and it's possible. Like myself, I never thought I would, as you said, I was working in the film and TV industry. I would never even imagine a million years ago that I would have ever been a part of this. Never, never. It started because before the bushfires, remember there was some Sydney bushfires?
Yes.
Before that time, they were looking for a family, for a commercial, for a tourism ad for Malaysian tourism. And we were a close match. So we went to this audition. And I said, what is all these people sitting here waiting for the director? What is this all about? I don't know. I've never been a part of this. So did an audition. And later, the bushfire started, so they didn't cast anyone. We don't know what happened to the casting, but I got in touch with the casting agent because that casting agent was known to our circle. And she was also looking for the same ad. And I said, I've already went to the audition without an agent on my own. We just rocked up there. Actually, yeah. So I said, I must be doing something right. I must have some confidence here, because normally an agent would send you. You go sent by your agent.
So how did you get into that? How do you know there is a casting there?
Because they were looking. It was in our circle saying they're looking for a family. It just came through a network. I said, I've already gone to this. I've already gone to this casting. I said, is it the same one for this Malaysian tourism? And they said, yeah, it's the same. I've already gone. I've already met so and so, and we've already talked in front of the camera, the line, and to the director. And they said, oh well. Then anyway, I said, we don't know what happened to that, but we'll join your agency. So we did. We joined that agency, and then we did it the proper way. We went through, when she advertises, we go through, she puts us through like a process. You have to have an agent, really.
Wow. You did so many wonderful things, because from pathology to business, and then radio host, and then to acting, modeling. Oh, there's so many things that you've been doing. It is so amazing because, like you say, you wouldn't have imagined that you'll be like in the filming industry.
No, I never imagined. I never imagined being in radio either, and that was that was an accident too. In 2017, we were in an Arabic Islamic class in English, learning Arabic classes in English, and it was that, and they also have a radio station on that campus. And suddenly in the crowd, my husband goes, "You do it." They came on. They said, "We need volunteers. We need volunteers to do this course, radio course, to do it, to help the Arabic station. They've got this grant." And I said, "Me? What am I going to do with radio? What's it going to do with me? What on earth is radio going to do with me? I'm from pathology." I keep telling everyone, I've got three kids now, and I used to be in pathology. Now I'm helping my husband with his graphic design business. Anyway, he says, no, I don't have time to do it. You do it. I said, okay, I'll volunteer for the community. I'll volunteer. I'll learn. I've got this, little kid, third one, pushing a double pram. 3 kids, like 2 are in prams at this time. So I said, okay, I'll go and learn. So I went and learned. I used to go to Chester Hill every week to this radio station. and I was learning, trying to a certificate. I haven't done any mature age study. Last time I studied was, when I was in my early 20s, living with my parents. Now I've got 3 kids and a husband. I said, okay, I'll try. So I used to, I think I used to bring my son, little one, during the classes. Who knows? It was such a long time ago, 2017. So I used to go there. It's actually a certificate 3. You know how hard it is to do a certificate 3 as a mom after not studying since her 20s. Anyway, so I got through. Every week I'd go and finish this course. There were trainers from radio, official trainers from radio. And I wrote a program called the Busy Moms Radio Show because we had to put a proposal in because we are certificate 3. We need a real example so that we would be practicing to finish this course, and we'll be presenting our proposal and what is in our program. So I had interviews with moms. I had interviewed, one of my first was Linda Low and Jackie M. They're the only ones I knew in my community. So I asked them, and they happily got interviewed at the radio station with me, and it was part of my course to sign off that I can interview people. So I still remember that first interview. Jackie M came in with her son, Linda Low. As you know, she's a finance broker. She came in, and I had another guest too. So these were my guinea pigs. So so I was learning also sound editing. I spent hours. What I actually do now for the Busy Moms Radio Show. This is fantastic to revisit, Vivian, because I really blocked all that out. It was hours and hours of sound editing to pass the course, how to do this, how do you cut this sound from an edit? How do you produce your show? How to time your show? All this was taught to me at the Arabic radio station. But years later, I left, and then years later I didn't think about radio. So that was the key, because that station needed Arabic speaking or different foreign language speaking shows. So that Busy Mom show in 2017 was still in my mind. It was in my heart. It was in my heart. I like to hear the stories of the community. So what I did was I just opened up Facebook groups, a Facebook line. So I called it the Cumberland Mums.
Yeah, I remember you have that Facebook group.
Yeah, so I just share the news, and I did interview a couple of people on Zoom. I've interviewed actually one politician who was running, and she was a mom, and she was my second ever Zoom interview. But the first one was a lady, African mom. I met her through Global Sisters, because also during that pandemic, I joined an online platform for Australian women. And it was also presented to me years before by a cafe in Smithfield helping victims of domestic violence. So that mom, she introduced me to Global Sisters, but I said, I don't know how to make anything. I do not know. These people are all creators. They make things by hand and blah, blah, blah. And so I said, no, I don't know anything. Every time I went to the cafe to support, she would mention, oh, you should join, Rosh, you should join Global Sisters. I said, okay. Then years later, I joined, and I said, I should have done this earlier, because I actually know how to make things, because my grandmother taught me how to sew. So in the pandemic, I was so bored. I'm a person that just can't sit still, even though I had 3 kids and homeschooling and everything. I just said, I'll start. So I got a sewing machine from Aldi, and I started making handmade bags, and also beads. I was ordering like crazy all these beads from America, and I started making jewelry. So straight away I was able to join Global Sisters with my handmade products. So I said to the moms out there that there is skills that you didn't know you had, and you can do it. And here I am in lockdown, making jewelry, sewing bags, and also I empowered some women in Malaysia. I helped import their masks. They were making handmade masks, and I wanted to invest in them because I wanted to help somebody. I couldn't sit still in the pandemic. So I helped these couple of Malaysian moms bring in their masks. And I had counselors and people in the community come to my house to buy the masks from Malaysia. So I waited for the the UPS truck to come, courier. We courier these masks in. So in the pandemic, I was also helping support these Malaysian women, and then also in with the global system making the jewelry. So it all started from there. All these ideas people had told me, and I said no, but then I said yes. So that's the key, I think, to me. What Richard Branson said, just say yes. So everything is coming my way, just say yes. Just say yes. Okay, radio, yes, yes, yes.
I can assure that from what you share with me, you definitely is someone cannot sit still. You got so many things that you are doing, because wow, that's even handmade products. You are so talented.
Yeah, I didn't think I was, because I had to dig back into my history. Like, yes, I used to go every school holiday to visit my grandparents in Sri Lanka, and she was running a sewing school. My grandmother is my biggest inspiration. She's now, I said she's 90 now. She's frail, but she's still living. And she used to have one sewing machine. Then she multiplied to the whole house. She used to just help everybody. She was just doing it for the community. So I get my community from her as well, because community spirit, because she taught a whole community how to underprivileged girls and women to earn income themselves. So that's where the idea came from, to help to join Global Sister, to help those Malaysian women, and also I put it under my daughter's name to show her that she can earn an income. She doesn't need a paycheck coming every day. She can earn her own income as well. So that's why the store is under my daughter's name. And
Rehana?
in honor of my grandmother, who actually served the community so much. Those sewing schools we took part, my sister and I, were 6 weeks. She'd start with the basics, there was these old-fashioned foot-powered machines where they have a little frame, and then they do the embroidery. So we're moving our feet and moving our hands, and we're sewing little flowers, so it starts with very simple embroidery, then it goes up to a big, so it's a 6 weeks course. And she did that with about dozens no more than about 100 women and girls in that community. So she was very diligent. She supplied everything, the thread, the fabric. She was selfless. She just did that. So I think I get that from her as well. And also my husband, my husband is very community. When I met him in Melbourne, he was in this community, that community, all community. He was in radio. So that's why I think back and I said, when I met him, he was doing radio. So it's all whoever you hang around is going to influence you.
Yeah.
So he's been in so many. So now I'm a secretary of a Sri Lankan Malay Association. He asked me to do that as well. This year I took that. So whenever something events happen, I have to send the emails out and help them in their committee meetings. So this organization has been around in Sydney. It was actually formed by my dad and some other seniors. So it was meant to bring together our community into barbecue, sports day, dinner at the end of the year. So there's like 3 or 4 events, Ramadan, Iftar. So I said, okay, I'll be the secretary. And as well, also, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. So I just say yes. And then I learn and I find out and actually solve some problems they had with emails bouncing and so forth. So I feel very proud of myself that I can actually take on something and learn as well. And also during the pandemic, I fought for racism in my council. Something was happening in racism, and I stood up. So I was proud that I was actually able to make a difference there as well. So I was also never sitting still in the pandemic. And as well, I was on TV. I was doing Zoom. I was on a quiz show during the Zoom, because as you know, Zoom you can use during the pandemic. So I did some quiz shows for Channel 9 as well.
Yeah, I think I did see that video as well. You were like in the game show or something like that.
One time I just came back from my vaccine. I said, I told the producer, if I faint, it's because I just had my second shot. I was I was booked for the to go on air.
Wow, you're such an amazing woman, like you say, because from being that woman who worked in the pathology before, and then you realize that you can't really going on with that job because you have your young little children, and then from there you have done so many things. And I love that you were sharing your grandmom, who is your inspiration, because she's building a community, and that's influenced you to be loving the community and then contribute for the community as well. So I'm really also very admire your what to say, being a mom of 3, and you are able to do so many things. And then even though with the studying, you brought your children with you as well. So you were allowed to do that at the time?
Yeah, that was at the radio station. It was in a school campus. So I was able to. And a lot of the time, children come with us to our business meetings.
Ah, hang on. Wow, so that's a lot of things that
graphic
you've been
design.
doing.
Yeah,
Wow.
graphic. We actually, our children have been around us, our business. They know us as they said, oh, customer. That when they were little, they would say, oh, that's mommy's customer, but everyone is the customer, because we were, it was funny, the words that they pick up, because mommy is the customer, shh, be quiet. So they
Oh,
were
so you
they're
are
so used to it. Yeah, they were used to it. When we were also running markets, we were running Malaysian markets around Sydney. We did every festival. We did Malaysia. We did most of the festivals and events in Sydney as well as a side hustle on the weekends. We did Luna Park everywhere like this, and our children would come. I used to like change their nappies at the back of the stall. It was like pushing them in the break, like like a mom. Like it was crazy. I would change gas cylinders. I would go in Darling Harbour. I would take the truck, the pram, put the empty gas cylinder in, and then take it and go to find a Shell petrol and refill it and come back to the market.
Wow.
Yeah, we had people. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Once I left the pathology lab, I was doing everything to earn that money, every which way.
Wow, you
That
got your way.
Yeah, I didn't have that. You hustle, you hustle, and it was because of that self-development travel business I was doing that made me get out there and do it. And
Unstoppable.
yeah, and that those skills that I took on helped me with everything else, like helping me secure the radio guests. It's not easy to find people to believe you to go in on radio. They trust me because of the skills that I've learned. I actually have a certain set of skills that I've learned from my favorite movie with Liam Neeson. He said that line, he has a certain set of skills that he's learned over time. And that's my favorite line in a movie, because that's what I feel like I'm learning skills over time that I can use that will help me achieve all these.
Yeah, I love that. It says that once you have the skill, it's always there for you and you can utilize it in your life. And then I can see that from what you were saying, personal development is one of the big things as well, because once you have that strong mindset, you literally can achieve anything that you want. And I really want to say that I'm totally saluting you for having your kids at the time and being that unstoppable mom, going everywhere with your kids, even though they're still young. And a lot of people thought that they use their kids as an excuse for not achieving what they want. But you are actually showing your kids that everything is doable if you put your mind to it.
Yes, and at a young age, they also started working. As you can see, they're hanging around us. So at 5 years old, the youngest was in a commercial, like, and he said to me, "Oh, can we go now?" Like, no, we're gonna do it again. So that's what it's all about. We have to repeat, reshoot, take, reset again, shoot. That's what movies about. So it's teaching them also a lot of patience, I think, this industry. And my eldest son also started at I think 10 years old. We just took him to it was at his local swimming pool. They were asking for volunteers, and it was, I said, yeah, why not? And then that's when he started his journey, because I said to the mom who was there, I said, you do this for a living with your kids? You take them all around Sydney to this commercial, that commercial? That sounds like a lot of work. But then I followed her. Eventually, I said, yes, I'll do it. She actually gave me her agent for her child, and I said, oh, no. And then, as usual, a couple of years later, I took it, because it was something that, you've got kids in school. How are they going to manage? But there is a way, because you can do it on the weekend. You can take a half day of school. You can organize yourself to do it. And my eldest son has actually done a lot of work as well, and he's building his portfolio. And he's 12 now. And I also think that there are talents in the family you don't even know. Like, I did not know he could sing. So during COVID, before COVID, I found this out, and I took him to the musical, but then it didn't go ahead because of the COVID. He was devastated. He was actually in the children's choir, and I said, oh no, we'll try again. But COVID came, and after that, different he took on different things after school, so he didn't really pursue the musical. But my daughter also, she's very shy. So when we do commercials, she actually improves her confidence. So I would suggest to any parents also with children to look into this, because it can help their self-esteem as well.
Yeah, that's true. Getting the kids out of their comfort zone, because once they get out of the comfort zone, they're probably willing to try a little bit more as well.
Yeah, and discipline, like my youngest, to focus. You have to redo this, run up the hill again and come back down, focus. And also take direction. A lot of this film industry, you have to be able to take direction, be on time, present yourself well, be professional. These are really good skills that the children can learn. Modeling or doing a commercial. So that money is good money, and it's earned well, and it's giving them confidence, and it's professional to their portfolio as well.
Well, that's good that you are actually influence your kids to be in the industry as well. So of all the different path or different industry that you got involved in, or different jobs, different businesses that you got involved, what are the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge would be, I would say, getting that time to invest yourself in that. Like, when someone shows me something and they say, oh, I need to show you, it's going to take me 3 hours. I said, I don't have the 3 hours. Like, I need to know, what am I going to invest in? Because I need to repeat it. I've got to repeat it again to someone else. Like, if you're going to ask me to sell something, okay, it's going to be 3 hours to show that person. I don't have that 3 hours. That 3 hours, I could be producing my radio show, or interviewing guests, or working in retail or film industry. So there's different, I think it's the time. You need to think, am I going to have this time? Am I going to be able to put my commitment into this project? And where am I going to put this in? See, a lot of this radio work, I'm volunteering about 15 hours a week for a 2-hour show. I do it before work, after work, weekends. Like, I don't watch TV. Like, I don't do a lot of things. Like, if I'm going to do the grocery shopping, I quickly do it. Like, I don't have time. The time I have, leisure time, doesn't exist anymore. So if I'm taking on, like, I'm a secretary of an community association, I have to send those emails out before I go to work, after, or schedule it. I can't do it then and there. I have to make that time. So I think is I had that time to do that travel industry self-development. So now I don't have time to do that self-development anymore. So all that was an intense training I did. I have to remember that, keep that up there. And same with the radio. When I did that first course in 2017, keep it in my mind, what I did, how I did it, and then years later produce it again. So what I'm learning now at this station, I have to keep it in my mind, how I'm doing it, for future. And film and TV, I've got into a rhythm. I know exactly what I'm doing. When I get cast, get that wardrobe ready, get into that role, boom, get out the door. People know I'm here with my bag. I'm ready. So they know me by my first name already because I've made it a routine. So I switch on to that acting modeling mode, putting on the makeup, presenting. I put that on, I switch it on. So it's because I make it quicker for me. Like at the beginning, it take a while. Oh, I have to, what do I do? It's taking me all day to pack, get ready for this role. But no, now I know because I've watched the stylist. Every shoot I do, every set I'm on, there's a stylist, there's makeup. I get all the advice from them. So I know last shoot I did, I had to be in a conference scene. They said wear neutral. Don't wear, you can have a pop of red, don't wear, and also every film shoot, don't wear stripy colors, dots, crazy patterns, logos. So that's very, very standard. So I sort of read it a million times, every job I know. And I'm actually advising my people I know, like my husband, my kids. I said, look, I'm training my son also into wardrobe. I said, look, this is the brief. What do we do? Pick your things and keep your clothes separate to your, play clothes, because casting call is casting call clothes over here, so they're also training, oh, what do I wear kind of thing. You should know by now because you're working in film and TV when they tell you. So wardrobe, I'm loving wardrobe now. I've never paid so much attention to wardrobe, makeup. So all these skills are fantastic to learn. And my daughter too my daughter is now into looking for my makeup and
There's so many interesting things that happens in your household, I reckon, because of your filming industry, and the kids learn so much as well. I believe that with that many different roles that you're playing, and also in the filming industry, I'm assuming that that's very interesting for your life and for your children as well.
Yeah, it's getting complicated now. I walked into the film set last week and they recognized me from radio. And I said, I'm so confused now. Which one am I today? Am I going to interview someone? Am I going to? So it's like different hats. People see me. And I still like to go back to, revisit pathology and to tell people like I was in pathology, because a lot of my friends were from that field, and they probably would wonder what is going on. But that's what happens when you leave a field, you go into another field. It's all right. It's all right to have so many hats. But I would love to help more women get into radio. I would love to. That's why the Busy Mom Show has a spot for 3 moms. So my goal is to fill that spot as well, because my eventual goal is to produce and to be behind. I also like being behind the scenes. I like the research, I like producing, I like directing. So eventually I want to lead this group of women in the Busy Moms Radio. Like I want to be the more behind, that not in front. So actually want to develop and grow this concept. That's why I kept it. Some people I met said, no, change it. Why moms? Why busy moms? Should be carers, blah, 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 different. Why can't we say busy moms? Because busy moms, we are busy moms. I'm a busy mom, but anyone can be on my show, anyone. We've interviewed anyone that can be part of the community, that's contributing to the community, that can empower the moms, empower the carers. So I have had dads on the show. I've had different guests on the show, but yeah, I really don't
So out of those jobs or different tasks, different hats that you're playing, which one of these are your most passionate about, or you love the most?
Yeah, I actually love retail as well. I'm working as a merchandiser. I really like that quiet time. I don't have to talk to anyone. I'm organizing the shelf. I like organizing because I don't get to do that at home. The shelves in the supermarket are more tidier than my house, because I love organizing and planning things as well. But I think I like all jobs. Every day I can be, like today, for example, after this interview, I'll be a merchandiser. Then tonight, I'll be a radio presenter. I'll be planning a show. I'm actually planning a show with my co-host. for the following Saturday. We're going to get dressed up, and we're going to promote the show as well. We're going to have a theme every week.
Wow.
So we're going to incorporate acting skills and talent into the radio as well.
You're not only
yeah.
You're not only a busy mom, you're a super crazy busy mom. You do lots
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, I have
Wow.
to. I think I have to, because otherwise, yeah, why will my children learn? Like they have their school. School teaches you one set of skills. Your work teaches you one set of skills. But then there's that outside, that extra, that window of opportunity.
Yeah.
Self-development and other skills. No one's going to teach you.
Yeah, and they get to learn that by experiencing themselves. It's putting themselves into practice. That's such a important skill and such a gift that you're giving them. That's so much things that you have been doing, and I really love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rosh.
You're welcome. Thanks for bringing up that for me. That was a great opportunity.
Yeah, that's showing a lot of women out there. Everything is possible if you put yourself out there. Thank you so much for that, Rosh. So I am very mindful of the time as well. I know that you're a very busy mom, like you say. And what is next for Rosh?
Well, it's only January, and I've already got things coming in, people asking me to attend and do, and I'm not sure. And as well, if I say no, I could regret it. So I'll probably say yes to a few more things this year. I'm actually have been asked, and I will be doing more things. So I'll have to be even more tighter with the schedule. As you know, if you can imagine, now that school is coming in, layering with your work, layering with those opportunities you don't want to miss. So it will be more film and TV. It will be more lots of things I can't say at the moment, but possibly different other opportunities, other industries I'll also be interacting with.
Wow. So what if someone wanted to get into the industry as well? What's your tips for them?
Well, the film and TV is to get an agent. Get an agent and start as a background extra, which is like small parts in the background, not having any words or lines, not having any big roles. So you get the feel of it. Get a big casting agent so that they put you in these big jobs, like Disney, Netflix, Channel 7. Get yourself on the ground in those jobs with a good agent. Then from there, if you really want to study the acting, do those weekend courses, and get those featured roles, and also watch other people, watch the actors, watch the models, how they do it, watch the people, the professionals in there. Just follow what they're doing and keep networking, build your reputation, and keep at it. And what is best about the film and TV out of all the industries is that they like you for you. They're not after anybody else but you. So if they like your look, they want your personality, you will get the job. Again and again, they will ask you.
Wow, that's such an important message that you're giving to those who are interested in the industry, because it's, to many people, they might think that it is impossible to get into the industry, but then, like you say, it is possible and it is doable as well. That's such an important message. Thank you so much, Rosh. So before we wrap up our conversation today, is there anything that you want to give to the advice to all the women out there?
The women out there, you are important. You are special. You have the power to achieve anything you want to, but you just have to say yes, and you have to believe in yourself. Like self-confidence, I know as a mom, it comes down, it goes down, after you get married, you're like faced with all these, budgeting challenges, looking after another person, then your household, and it's like your self-esteem might go down because, I used to be, going and getting my hair done every month or something. Now, like your self-esteem goes down. So you got to build yourself back up and do something every week for yourself, like slowly. I know you got the little ones, you got the household, but just do something, a little thing like you used to do, like read, go for a walk, exercise, something small, and then build it up. Once your family gets older, increase those roles that you can do.
Yeah, that's so true. Like you say, moms, when they have younger kids, their self-esteem probably gone down a little bit. But thank you so much for sharing, doing a little bit a day and then to build up their self-confidence.
Exactly. Right. Because I used to tell my children could hear me, I used to say, Mommy used to have colleagues. Mommy used to go to meetings. Mommy used to be in a workplace. Now Mommy's like, this is Mommy's world now. So, but it's all right, because those little ones are going to, help you when you get older, and they can, you're doing such a good job. Motherhood is the best job, actually, because you would never regret motherhood. So don't feel bad that you're, stuck at home with the kids. Like me, you can listen to podcasts. You can actually do a lot of work from home as well. Like I used to. One day a week, I used to volunteer. I said, I need to get out of the house. I need to do something. So I was going and volunteering at op shops, at whatever I could, conferences as a guide. You can do these once in a way things, once a month. Ask your husband, partner, kids, organize a babysitter, and go and join a mom's group, something to give back to the community. It also helps you feel less sorry for yourself when you help others. So even if you're stuck like me with 3 kids, just go once a month, get a babysitter and feel good. You can do bush cleanup. You can do a lot of volunteer roles there are. And also at the radio, come and see me. I'll fix you up with something. There are not enough moms who would do it, because how are you going to do it? I've asked a lot of moms. They've had problems with partners, babysitting. They just can't get out of the house. Well, I'm telling you, you can, because I will make it happen for you. Just one afternoon, come and see me at radio. We can do something.
Wow, that's so wonderful, that the job that you're doing and your what you're doing to all the moms out there, it's such a great contribution.
I know, Vivian. I know the struggle. I know it has been such a struggle. Like I've got to change this nappy. I got to get this formula. I got to go and cook. I got to clean. I got to, suddenly your world is like this. Like, what is this for yourself? Who are you? Like, I've created a stage name. I didn't have that before. I was known as somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, somebody's mother, like a cousin, auntie. I wasn't my own person. So you need to find back who you are, and it is possible. We are living in a free country. We can express ourselves. We can do things for the community. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with serving others as well as your own family, and actually makes it a better community and not so selfish. Like my children, they've learned from a young age to talk to everybody, to be friends with everyone, to help others. And I'm hoping I'll my son was in the last year in the SRC as a prefect. Like, I'm hoping they will also eventually learn to help others, even though they have this mindset sometimes, oh, I can't do it, or I'm too shy. I keep telling them I was shy before I started this self-development. I didn't even look at anybody. I was in a pipetting in a fume hood, not having to talk to any strangers. Like, so I was the one who went through all this self-development. So you can change. My personality is like very introverted. I'm so introverted. It's not funny. Like, I was the person that just bookworm, study, never wear makeup, sort of. What is this now? I'm on the TV. There you are. Is that you, Rosh? Like, like, yeah, that's it. Just change your personality. You can, but you also have quiet time. Sometimes I want to just go into a quiet room and be by myself as well. So it's all right. You can build your confidence up. A lot of women I've invited to this radio journey, I've experienced. I said, I will be your voice. It's all right, because I know it's hard for you. It's hard for your family, to have that supporting partner. It actually broke my heart when I heard these stories. My partner is not supporting me. I can't do it. I said, oh dear, I will be your voice, So there is one more spot if anybody is really, really keen on radio, because it is a passionate You have to be very passionate about it, because every week we are, creating content, ideas in that spot.
Yeah. So yeah, I love your last sharings about the women who, some of them lost their identity because they become the mom, they become the wife and the daughters of someone else, but then they lost themselves. So that's a very important piece of message that you're sharing there, Rosh. And to all the women out there, I think that's the things that you have to remind yourself. You got to be your own self, no matter what roles you're playing. And I really love that message, Rosh. And yeah, I really appreciate your time with us, Rosh, and then your wisdoms to all the women out there. And I really also want to send my appreciation to you for what you are doing for the community. So
yes, and I'm also watching everyone. I've been watching Vivian, her journey. You actually was very shy. You couldn't speak. You went to Toastmasters, and every day you made a Facebook Live. I couldn't believe it. And now look at you now running your own channel. That's amazing, Vivian. I mean, I watch everybody. So whoever you are, I'm watching you, because I'm supportive of everybody in the community. I watch everybody and their progress, and I'm encouraging them. I'm cheerleading for you all the women out there.
Oh, that's so I'm so touched that you actually watched what I've been doing. Yes, I did remember the time when I was still in Toastmaster and then did my first ever Facebook Live. That's a lot of the things in the journey, but I think as long as we keep moving and moving forward, we are definitely a better version than we were.
Growing. Yeah, and I'm also very passionate about stopping racism and all sorts of things I'm interested in. So hopefully I can get more involved in making a difference in other industries as well, because I've experienced racism. I've experienced in the workplace. I've experienced discrimination as a woman. It's very sad to see, and I've had to call the unions and so forth, because to help myself, get those jobs in the industry, it's not that easy. There's a lot of discrimination happening to women, to mothers, to people of Asian background, Muslims, everybody. It's terrible. It's terrible. That's all my life. That's probably why I'm doing so much, because I tell my children, we are Muslim, we're Asian, we're not like everybody else. We need to show a good example. So I continuously instill that in my children. Behave yourself, because we are the first ones they look at, like it's your fault, So I'm constantly telling them, advising them, do good in the community. Doesn't matter how many things you do everything is good. do it well, and help the community. Show people that we are migrants, we are giving back to the community, and that's very, very important. That's a very most important thing, I think, as well. All these layers I'm sharing today, being from an ethnic background, people judge you from first look at you, and it's always happened to me. I walk in, I say to my husband, they didn't even see me, they didn't even serve me, they can't even see me. Am I not seen? Where? Look at me. Sometimes I'm with 3 kids, I have a hijab, they still cannot see me. So I'm patiently waiting, and then I get served. Like it's constantly happening, Vivian. It's constantly happening. So now I have this platform. I have an opportunity to help the community and also to represent people of my background. It's fantastic. It feels so good. And also to have this voice, to give the voice, to share, to be a voice.
Yeah, that's so important for you to be the examples in the communities and give the voice to the community as well. And yeah, like you say, you've been through different challenges. For instance, discrimination, racism, but you decided to become someone who stand up for yourself and also for the community.
Yeah, I didn't let anything happen like that. I kept saying in the back of my mind that I have a purpose. It will happen. It will eventually come. People will stop and hear me. People will notice, and people will take this opportunity to listen to me. So yeah, I was and you have to have a lot of patience. So it's been a long time before even I had a voice. So it's been a very long time, years, I would say.
Oh,
Decades.
I really love that.
Which is fine because I was happy being quiet and not being known. I was very happy because I was observing all that time. I was studying, observing, overcoming the challenges. Then this is the time, when the time is right, use this opportunity. And I actually want to bring everybody up with me. Like, I'm a kind of person, like, if I get an opportunity, I help others come on the journey with me. I don't want to leave anybody behind.
You have a very big heart there, Rosh. I love that. It's a blessing to have known you in the community, and it's a blessing that the community having you. It is such a pleasure to have you here with us, Rosh, and listening to your stories and listening to your vision as well. So is there any last word that you wanted to share?
Yes, actually, I'm not stopping. So I want everybody to come on the journey, whether it's film, TV, radio, whatever it is, helping others, prevent racism or whatever it is. Follow the journey, follow me, because I have a plan and it will help more people. So I need all your support and help, and I've been getting that, and I want everybody to achieve everything that they want to achieve, and I will help that. And I have been helping behind the scenes many people as well. So if you're part of my network and you support my work, come on board and we'll all support each other.
Thank you so much, Rosh. So if you want to connect with Rosh, you can connect with you on Facebook.
Yeah, you can press Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll also include the link to Rosh social medias in the description and on the comments later. And then once again, thank you so much, Rosh, for your time with us today and sharing with your wisdoms with us. And looking forward to hear your journeys coming up next. And we will definitely follow you in your journey as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.